Hello. How is everybody tonight? Happy Sunday, everybody. And happy Mother's Day out there to all the mothers. Hope everybody's had a good weekend. Hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. Let me see who I got with me here so far. We've got Ben Grimm here. Thank you for becoming a channel member, sir. Appreciate that, Ben. Hope you're doing well. Got my old buddy Horror Orman here with us tonight. Got Dino here. What's up, Dino? Dino says it's been a while since you caught a live stream. Well, glad to have you here, man. Tony is here. Yeah, Jeremy and I had a blast at FrankenCon. We've got a lot of footage, a lot of photos to share with y'all. And our full FrankenCon recap video will be out probably middle of next week or this week. So it'll be dropping soon. What's up, DJ? How are you? We've got Swaggy here. Hello, Swaggy. We've got Mrs. Erica Lauren Horn Mason. DJ, what's up? Blu-ray Attic is here. We've got Caleb here. Edward. John Best is here. Agent Redgrave is here. Pamela Day. I know we've got Pamela here with us. We've got Pamela here hanging out in the background with us. She's celebrating not only Mother's Day, but the 45th anniversary of Friday the 13th. What's up, Antonis? We've got Eddie here. Joe Reese is here. Sick Jim is here. Yeah, if you've not dropped a like, please. Chris B is here. Big Smells is here. What's up, Big Smells? We've got Go Seek Find here. We've got Tanker Yanker, Hillbilly Tech, Nest Cafe. Alan is here. We've got a full house. What's up, Real Feels Podcast? How you doing, Drew? We got Dylan. Yes, Jeremy is wanting to go see the new Final Destination. Yes, he is. I'm hoping we'll be able to get out and see Clown in a Cornfield. Probably not tomorrow, but maybe Tuesday. We'll be able to get out and see Clown in a Cornfield. So, yeah. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Appreciate it. How's everybody doing? How was everybody's Mother's Day? What did y'all get your mothers for Mother's Day? What's up, Pillow Forts? Keely, how are you? Did I hear about the animated Friday the... Yeah, that's... Vincente's doing that, right? I think Vincent... Isn't the new Never Hike Alone supposed to be animated? I've not talked to Vincente in a while. I need to bring him on and catch up with him. It's been a while. Gift card to Kohl's. That's always a good, solid, relatively safe gift. That's what I mean, Mom loves Kohl's. I usually get her a lot of gift cards to Kohl's. But this year I got her it's like a preserved rose and a necklace. So she's pretty happy. Your mother's working, but you'll take her out to dinner later. Cool. Brother and I treated our mom and sister-in-law to a nice Italian lunch. You can never go wrong with Italian. You can never go wrong with Italian. Flowers and a cup of ice cream from UDF. Not bad. Flowers and jewelry. I mean, that's the way to a woman's heart, right? Flowers and jewelry. Any woman's heart. Flowers and jewelry. There you go. Mom happiness, Kohl's gift cards. Exactly. Yes. Yes. Jewelry. Again, can never go wrong. Women love their jewelry. Ghost in the Fog. Yeah, that's it. That's going to be the next. That's going to be the next. Never Hike Alone. You got your mom the Good Times video VHS of Mother's Day. Really? Okay. Well, if she appreciated that gift, then she's a pretty cool mom. That's for sure. What's up, Andy? How are you? Clown in a Cornfield is the most terrible horror of the year. Really? I've not heard a whole lot about it. Has anybody seen Clown in a Cornfield? Anybody get out to see it this weekend? I'm kind of surprised. I mean, it was pretty hyped up, and at least from what I've seen on social media, it's been kind of quiet about it. So, I don't know. Gift cards, flowers, card, and lunch. That's a good Mother's Day. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I heard that Sabu passed away. ECW legend Sabu, yes, R.I.P. I believe he was 60. Chili's gift card. Their Big Mac knockoff is great and super cheap. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Mother's Day was one of your mother's favorite movies, Orman. She's a cool mom then. Sick Jim, you liked it. What's up, Xylo Green? How are you? I have not seen The Ugly Stepsister. Swaggy, what did you think of Thesis? Yeah, I've been recommending that one to everybody. Yes, Jeremy had a blast at FrankenCon. We'll have a lot to discuss when we shoot that video. A lot to discuss. I saw it opening night in the theater, got lots of laughs. It's a pretty unserious movie. It seems horror comedy is having a moment in 2025. I've not read the book. I bought the book with the intention of reading it before watching the movie, but I've clearly, laziness. Well, I mean, not lazy. I've been busy. Lots of stuff. So just never got around to it. But I supported the author. I supported Adam purchasing the book at least, and we're probably going to go watch the movie on Tuesday. So there you go. But the topic of tonight's stream is Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th celebrated its 45th anniversary on the 9th, just a couple of days ago. And then I think like a day or two after, or wait a minute, a day or two before, The Burning celebrated its 44th anniversary. Yeah, 44th anniversary. So we had two of my all-time favorite slashers celebrating anniversaries just this past week. But Friday the 13th turns 45. If you know me, you know that that is my favorite franchise of all the franchises. It means the world to me. It's a big part of my childhood, a big part of my just horror fandom in general. And it all started 45 years ago on May 9th. And wow, I mean, just imagine what the horror landscape would look like, would be like today without Friday the 13th. I mean, just think, you know, if Sean Cunningham's kids' movies had taken off, there'd be no Friday the 13th, you know? Or if Sean Cunningham had decided to go into real estate instead of filmmaking, like, what would life be like without Friday the 13th? Can you imagine? Wow. Wow. Oh, man. I heard from a lot of people who had actually seen the movie in the theater when it first came out, and I was like, wow. How incredible would that have been? I've been to the camp where they shot the film twice. If you guys want to, we can watch the last video I did there, all that footage, wandering around the camp and here and there, if you guys want to, toward the end of the stream. But does anybody have any Friday the 13th memories, or Friday the 13th? Do you guys remember the first time you saw the movie? Or was the original Friday the 13th anybody's first Friday the 13th? Because it definitely was not mine. We've got Cliff here. I sent my mom a lifetime supply of flour because she loves to bake, but Feruza stole it off her porch and snorted it. All in one giant inhale. Just totally inappropriate. Totally uncalled for. Totally inappropriate. What's up, Al? How are you doing? We're going to talk about Jason Universe here momentarily. We wouldn't have slow-moving slashers, the trope. Well, I mean, Michael was pretty slow. Michael was he was walking. He just sort of, you know, it was like he glided across the street and stuff. He was very stealthy. Jason is stealthy, but when he walks, it's like, you know, thud, 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 thud. So, and don't forget, Jason ran in parts 2, 3, and 4. Roy didn't run, though. Roy was the first Jason that didn't run. And then zombie Jason stole that from Roy in part 6. So who's the imposter now? Very good question. I'm going to text-to-speech this.
Eerie Spirit says, Piz, do you think you would be here streaming if it wasn't for Friday the 13th existing?
Wow. That's a very good question. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, probably. because I mean, I would still love horror, but I don't. I mean, I don't know if it would be as intense a love of the genre if Friday the 13th didn't exist. So I don't know. That's a good question. That's a really good question. I don't know. Makes me, I don't know. Really makes me think. You live about 30 minutes from Blairstown. Beautiful part of New Jersey, Blairstown. Beautiful. That's a good, that's an interesting point you've just made there, Agent Redgrave. I'm going to text-to-speech that.
Agent Redgrave says, well, Michael Myers and Leatherface probably wouldn't come back without Friday the 13th popularizing slasher franchises.
I think there's a lot of truth in that statement. Really. Because, Friday the 13th really lit that fire. And Friday the 13th Part 2 proved that, sequels are profitable. So that was when Halloween 2 came out. A few years later, of course, Halloween 4, 5, we got Chainsaw 2. Yeah, so here's an even deeper question. How many, if there was no Friday the 13th, would we have My Bloody Valentine? Would we have April Fool's Day? Would we have Slaughter High? Would we have Madman? Think of all the 80s slashers. Like, how many of those would not exist also if Friday the 13th didn't exist? Imagine that butterfly effect. How many great 80s slashers that we all love today would not exist without Friday the 13th? Wow. Just think about that. Let that settle in. The original was one of the last ones you saw, Big Smells. Friday the 13th has that unique, of all the franchises, the original Friday the 13th, all the big franchises, the first one is universally considered the best, I think, except for Friday the 13th. And the only reason why that is because it's Jason's mother. I wish I could remember the order that I watched them all in. I know it started with 7, but from there I have no clue. And I would love to have like a video of me watching the original Friday the 13th. And what was my reaction to, who's this woman? Who's this woman? Why? She's Jason's mother. What? I would love to have that on tape. That would be an interesting reaction. The first one you watched was Freddy versus. Okay, so you're a youngin' then. You must be a youngin'. If the first Friday the 13th movie you saw was Freddy versus Jason, you're a youngin'. You saw the first Friday the 13th on AMC's Fear Fest, I'm guessing? Fear Fest? Mm-hmm. Fear Fest was always great. I guess they still do it. I don't know. Part 4 was your first one? You saw it the same night as Nightmare on Elm Street. Wow, that's an awesome double bill. Got some USA Up All Night love here. 5 or 7, the first ones you saw. Courtesy of USA Up All Night. I know. A lot of people probably saw those.
You see, Jason was my son, and today is his birthday. My only child. Jason.
If Friday the 13th had never happened, what horror movie would have been the first to have an iconic decapitation scene like Pamela's? Thinking face.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I will get to that here momentarily. I'm sure a lot of people, USA Up All Night was there, introduced them to Friday the 13th. I actually met Rhonda Shear over on yesterday. And I mentioned to her, like, you introduced me to so many great movies, It's because of you and USA Up All Night that, like, I think that's Friday the 13th and USA Up All Night are probably the two maybe biggest pieces or parts that kind of made me the horror fan that I am today. So I got to tell her that yesterday. The original Friday the 13th was your first. Okay. Part 6 was your first. Okay. Parts 2, 7, and then the original. Wow, you jumped around from Tater Sack Jason to Zombie Jason.
You see, Jason was my son, and today is his birthday. My only child. Jason.
More people need to listen to you on the importance of hygiene at cons. It was some bad breath at Monster Mania, rolling on the floor laughing. Hope you and Jeremy enjoyed FrankenCon.
We did, and I did not have one single bad breath or BO encounter there. And I don't remember a single bad breath or BO encounter from Full Moon either. So, and I'm actually planning on doing an updated convention survival guide video in the near future. So. But you bounced from Tater Sack Jason to Zombie Jason to Mother. That's wow. Well, you've been to several of the shooting locations for Jason Lives in Georgia. Yeah, I would love to come and hit those up for sure. That'd be cool. Let me see. Let me catch up with the super chats here. I got off the school bus at 7 years old in 1982, and my mom said, "You have to watch this movie I saw today. It's called Friday the 13th." Wow, you had the coolest mom, Orman. Damn, you had the coolest mom. If I had a drink here, I'd do a cheers to your mom. Damn. Let me see. Where'd those super chats go? All right, Mike, if Friday the 13th had never happened, what horror movie would have been the first to have an iconic decapitation scene like Pamela's? Damn. Well, the Maniac decapitation, although the guy, Tom Savini gets his head blown off with a shotgun. That one's pretty awesome. Not as mainstream, so fewer people have seen that one. But, and again, Tom Savini did both of them. He also did a really good one in The Prowler, too, where the guy gets the killer blows his own head off with that sawed-off shotgun. That's another really good one. But like a decapitation with a blade? Oh. When Madman jumps on the hood of the Jeep and cuts that lady's head off, and you see that it's an absolute clean cut, like if it was done with a razor. The hoods of Jeeps are razor sharp. If you learned anything from that sequence, the hoods of Jeeps are razor sharp. So that would be it. That'd be the most iconic, I think. So. But thank you, Mike. I appreciate that very much. And let's see, we had Chris here. More people need to listen to you on the importance of hygiene. Yes. I'm sorry that you had some bad breath encounters at Monster Mania. That's why, I've always got gum in my pocket, or like mints or something. And I'm constantly, like, if you watch the video footage of me from Full Moon, or the video footage that we're going to post from FrankenCon, I'm always, because I do not want to be, like, if you're talking to somebody and you see them kind of pull away from you, I don't want to be that guy. I've been in the situation where I've been the one kind of pulling away. I don't want to be on the other end of that and know, like, oh, I've got stinky breath, So gum or mints, always have them on your person at a convention. Use them often. The moment that you start to feel your mouth getting dry, that's when halitosis starts to kick in. Get that mint in there. Get some gum in there. Look, I've got the gum right there. Right there. Okay? Got another pack. Right there. All right. So yeah, I am planning on doing an updated convention survival guide video soon. So I think Jason definitely, by the way, thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. I think Jason definitely influenced Halloween to make Michael a bigger guy, because Nick and Dick were not that big of guys. Well, yeah, I think so. I think so too. Yeah. Being in my mid-50s and going to the theater in the late 70s, 80s, and early 90s was so awesome. When I watch any of the top 3 franchise films, it takes me right back in my mind. Very cool, Dino. Yes. Let me catch up with the chat here. The first Friday you saw was part 3, John. Okay, that's a good one. Good intro. You saw Jason get the hawk for the first time. Piz, you've lost so much weight. Great job. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Hitting the gym, getting my pump on. Lots of protein. So, yeah. Although today was our pizza day. Sunday's our pizza day. So, Jeremy, we did get thin crust, though. Thin crust. So, little fewer carbs. Hey, what's up, Jaden? How are you doing? What's up, Oracle? Your favorites are part 1, 2, 3, and 4. You really enjoyed 8. Okay. What's up, Derek? How are you? My dad didn't care what I rented from Family Video, so I rented the first one when I was 8. One of the first 3 horrors you watched together. Very cool. Pieces, that's a good decapitation in that one. Yes. Just curious, Piz, what was it like to go to the Friday the 13th lake? Did it give that eerie feeling like in the movie? No, not eerie. I was just, it's just an incredible experience to go there, and because the camp looks a lot like it did back in 1980. All the original cabins are still there except for one. It all looks pretty much the same. So probably the coolest thing was watching the movie. They projected the movie onto a big screen in front of the lake. So once it got dark, we all sat down in front of the lake. They projected the movie and we watched the movie right there. That was pretty incredible. And then walking back, like when it was over, like, walking back to the car, because we're in the middle of the woods. It's pretty dark. So like walking through the woods in pitch black with like your cell phone light on to guide the way, that was maybe a little eerie. That was maybe the eeriest part, but what a great experience. Yeah, John. Well, if you guys are interested, toward the end of the stream, we can watch some of that footage from the camp if you want to. Love your Dawn of the Dead poster. Thank you. Hey, there's my buddy Chris, Slasher Home Video. How are you doing tonight, sir? Daily Joe Rogan, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words. Daily Joe Rogan, thank you. Who's your favorite actor or actors to play Jason? I mean, Kane Hodder would have to be number one. And then I guess Richard Brooker. I think he kind of created that. He his part 3 Jason is just one of the iconic ones, I think. And I think, Ted White was a really good Jason too. And I mean, CJ Grant, all of them really, I think, have been good Jasons. I mean, some better than others, but I think that, they've all done pretty good job as Jason, but the definitive Jason is Kane, of course. What's up, Broke Boogeyman? How are you doing? It chapter 1 is by far better. It's not even close. Not even close. Yes, Punk Ron, I have seen TerrorVision. Yes, I own the Blu-ray. I didn't get that package. There was a package at the camp where you could spend the night there. I didn't do that. I went on the mega tour, which was literally like the first time I went, they split us up into 2 groups. There was the morning group and the evening group, and I was in the morning group. We did the tour, we had lunch, and then we were gone. The mega tour was all day and a good chunk of the night too, but they had people from the movie there. It was kind of a convention thing going on there too, where you could meet, Tom Savini and Adrian King and Tasso and a bunch of people, and have them sign your stuff and take photos and all that. So that was the mega tour, but there's a whole other package where you can spend the night. You can even get married there. There's an option where you can get married at the camp. So for you super hardcore Friday the 13th fans, get married there. Is part 4 my favorite Friday the 13th? I think part 4 is an example of a perfect slasher movie. It's not my favorite in the series, but it's definitely one of the best. And I think it's just one of the best overall slashers ever. It's a perfect slasher. Oh, you're having some pizza later too. All right. Very nice. Very nice. What kind of beverages are you having with the pizza? Any particular beverages? Sonny, you just finished Heretic and was so happy. Yeah, I liked Heretic a lot too. I liked Heretic a lot. No, I don't. I think Kane. No, I don't think Kane will ever. Unless they do something with him like what they did with Nick Castle for the new Halloween series, where like they just have like a shot of him. You know, he's not playing the character. He's just sort of like a. I don't want to say a stand-in, but you know, maybe something like that with Kane. But no, I don't see him playing Jason again. Are there any locations from a horror film that you wish to visit one day? Oh, the My Bloody Valentine town. That would be cool. Yep, I'd love to go there. Oh, goodness. I mean, I visited Friday the 13th. I visited the Texas Chainsaw Massacre locations. I visited the Town That Dreaded Sundown locations. I mean, I'm not sure what would be left of the Lost Boys locations. I know that bridge is there that they hung off of, and I think that cave is there, but you can't like go into the cave, of course. Like walking on the boardwalk would be cool from the Lost Boys. Maybe going to Martha's Vineyard where they shot Jaws. I think that would be cool too. So Jaws and the Lost Boys, those would be up near the top, I think. Nice cold Pepsi with that pizza, Ben. Yeah, can't beat a cold Pepsi with that pizza. Just water. Water's fine. Water's good. Water's good. Water's good. Always gotta keep a bottle handy. Your friend and her husband got married. Okay, there. All right, nice. Jeremy's doing good. Jeremy's in bed. Broke Boogeyman's about to order some pizza with Mountain Dew. All right, man. You're living the high life. That's for sure. You are living the high life. Favorite Friday the 13th NECA figure? Oh, it's got to be the Roy, of course. It's got to be the Roy. You visited the Evil Dead cabin remains in Morristown, Tennessee. It's just a hole in a chimney still there. Yeah. How deep into the woods do you have to go to get to that? You got to go deep into the woods for that. Well, I wanted to discuss, again, it was the 45th anniversary of Friday the 13th. And, maybe we'll get some news, right? Like Sean Cunningham is now pretty active on Instagram. I thought that was kind of odd that like all of a sudden he's really active on Instagram and the 45th anniversary is coming around. Maybe there's going to be some news. There really wasn't a whole lot of news just to go along with the 45th anniversary of Friday the 13th. There was one little thing, and let's take a look at it here. It's the Jason universe stuff, and the Jason universe has been pretty underwhelming, I think. It would be a fair word. It's been very underwhelming. It's been around for about a year at this point, and it's not a lot going on there. But for the 45th anniversary of Friday the 13th, we got a new logo, and you're staring at it. It's pretty much the exact same logo. It's just a little dirty. And I think they dirtied up that awful looking hockey mask too. But that was your update for the 45th anniversary of Friday the 13th from Jason Universe. A new logo. And we got a new little ditty from Harry Manfredini. We'll watch that here momentarily. So this is a Bloody Disgusting article by Megan Navarro, where she writes way too much about this tiny little reveal here. There's you could have just posted the reveal itself, but you got this big write-up about it. She does mention the TV series, which we'll go into that here momentarily as well. What is Jason Universe? You might be asking yourselves if you're not familiar. The short answer is that it's a multi-platform expansion first announced a year ago as the quote-unquote new era from the original owners of the Friday the 13th franchise. So in a year, we have gotten a brand new logo in a year. And on the 45th anniversary, here's your new logo. They're really spoiling us. With signs of the dormant franchise springing back to life, including forward movement on the prequel series Crystal Lake, expect big plans in the work from Horror Inc.'s Jason Universe. I think that's pretty much exactly was the coverage last year too. Expect big plans. We wanted to ensure that as we move forward, we respect the rich history of Jason while also embracing future opportunities to authentically engage with new and loyal fans. The latest iteration of the mask and logo reflect the fine balance of honoring the past while also bringing our iconic character into the future, says Robert Barsamian, president of Horror Inc. Barsamian also executive produces Crystal Lake, and others sign that exciting things are ahead from Horror Inc. And again, the logo, you're embracing the old. It's like I don't want to like make fun of it too much, but they've set it up to be made fun of because it's awful. It's awful. That's not what the mask looks like in any of the movies, and it's just bad. It's bad. You've had 1 year of Jason Universe, and this is it. Or didn't I think they announced maybe a skin for some video game? Like, who cares? A skin for a video game. Give me a freaking break. So we got a skin and this new logo in a year. It's exciting, folks. It's exciting, isn't it? Are you excited? From Vice President of Horror Inc., Robbie Barsamian, Jason is one of horror's definitive villains, and we've been hard at work to bring him back into the spotlight with our latest iteration. Jason's fans are incredibly dedicated as we're stoked to show them everything we have in store. Kicking off with the 45th anniversary across all mediums. But what did they, I mean, what did they do? As we mark the 45th anniversary of the Friday the 13th franchise, it's truly exciting to reawaken the legacy of Jason Voorhees with Horror Inc. in a way that feels both fresh and true to the character, says Mark Toberoff on behalf of Friday the 13th LLC. Mr. Toberoff, again, was the attorney for Victor Miller that set the whole lawsuit in motion. This is a milestone moment for us and Horror Inc., and we're both proud to give fans a thrilling new chapter worthy of Jason's enduring legend. So here, let's watch this. It's very, very brief. The Jason Universe logo reveal video, and you got a little bit of new music that Harry Manfredini did for it. So here we go. There you go. Happy 45th anniversary to Friday the 13th. There you go. Don't get too excited about that, y'all. Ay. Must be a slow week over at BD. I guess. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. So, basically the news was that there is still no news, but there's a new logo and a new little piece of music that Harry Manfredini did. That's it. That logo looks AI generated. You think? That is a pretty lame logo for... It is indeed. Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. We've had again. It's been a year, and that's it. We've gotten a skin for a video game, and that new logo. So that's the 45th anniversary reveal there. No news of a movie. No news of a new video game. I mean, if they announced a new video game, that would have been, people would have been super stoked about that. Or you know, I don't know, revive the old game. You know what I mean? But no, that's it. Thanks for calling out the lameness of that. How underwhelming. Yeah. Well, Jason has spoken. Don't you remember in part 8 where he was like, Mommy. Don't you remember that? Or what about in part 3 when he gets stabbed and he's like, oh. He spoke. Oh, yeah. That logo's fire. I know. It's fire. It should be thrown into the fire. So, not a lot going on in the world of Jason Universe. We did get at least something of an update from the Crystal Lake television series, courtesy of the showrunner Brad Caleb Kane's Instagram. So let's take a look at that real quick. So as the caption is Crystal Lake production offices are live. It's all happening. Machetes for everyone. And we have some sort of script there written by Brad Caleb Kane. I'm guessing that might be the pilot episode. It says production draft 3/26/2025. Now we already know that Linda Cardellini is going to be playing Mrs. Voorhees. Adrian King has some role in it, at least according to IMDb. What's up, Foxy Cinema? How you doing, sir? So the series is at least moving forward. It's moving forward. So I'm not really familiar with Brad Caleb Kane. I'm not sure exactly what he's done. I know Nick Antkoska is. I think Nick Antkoska is the showrunner. I think Brad Caleb Kane might be. He's either a producer. I don't. Let me see. What's his thing here say? Co-showrunner. Creator. Oh, he's creator and showrunner. So is he? What's Nick Antkoska doing there? I thought he was the show. Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Here he is. He's got some Camp Crystal Lake letterhead here. What happened to Nick Antkoska? I thought he was the showrunner. Maybe they're co-showrunning. I don't know. Here we've got a picture of him in front of a lake with the caption, "He wasn't a very good swimmer." So maybe they're on location or they're location scouting. I don't know. But we got a script there. The production offices are live. Things seem to be moving forward. So, there you go. At least something is happening. I did see a lot of people in the comments of, there were a lot of people in the comments of the Jason Universe social media posts, like, talking about how lame it was. But then there were a lot of people like, what about a Fortnite skin? What about a Call of Duty skin? What about, like, it's like people are so starved for anything Jason official. Like, yeah, we'll take just a skin for a video game. Like, how, like, people are so starved for Jason that, we'll take like the we'll take the least, you know what I mean? Like, just a dumb skin for a stupid video game. So, the Crystal Lake series, it's moving forward. We'll, maybe we'll have some more news on it in the coming weeks, coming months, and we'll know more soon, I guess. And I believe they are shooting in New Jersey. I don't think they're doing it in Blairstown, but they're shooting somewhere in New Jersey, so at least it'll have that same kind of vibe, or at least that same look as kind of the original, because like you could tell, like, part 1 and part 3 are not in the same area. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell, even like part 1 and part, when you get into like part 7, that's like, yeah, that's not the same. That's not the same. Crystal Lake has changed a lot. It's like we went from like a northeastern woodsy vibe to a southern woodsy vibe. And then of course we go to part 8 and we're in freaking Canada. So, yeah. Or like, like 3 and 5, that's a California, no woods to be found vibe. So, oh, you heard that the series is being shot in Blairstown. Okay. Well, I mean, cool. Awesome. I heard it was in New Jersey. I didn't hear Blairstown, but cool. They're doing an extra search for New Jersey locals. Maybe filming in Blairstown. I mean, it would make sense if they did, because they've got those locations they look almost exactly the same. Like that main street is pretty much exactly the same. You've got the diner still there. The camp looks pretty much exactly the same. So, and the camp should be begging them to come there and shoot, because if that show's a hit, like, just imagine, like the hardcore, the old school Friday the 13th fans who were lining up to pay big money to go there. Like, imagine the new fans of the series lining up and paying bigger bucks to go there. So they should be begging for that to be shot at Camp Novi Bosco or Novi Bosco, however you pronounce it. Well, I mean, John, a lot of us kind of aren't interested in a prequel TV show, but that's what they're giving us. And most people, like I said, are so starved for anything new Friday the 13th that we're going to be watching it. So, any thoughts on the Friday Jason universe? Any thoughts on the Crystal Lake series? I mean, hey, if you've not dropped a like on the stream, please do so. Thank you all for 59 likes on the stream. Appreciate that. They should add Jason to Dead by Daylight. A lot of people were saying add Jason to Dead by Daylight. Yeah. A lot of people are wanting that too. Those are 12-year-olds though. Well, I mean, At least they're wanting something Jason related. I mean, I guess that's good, but yikes. I never knew of conventions until your channel. Oh, okay. Gonna be Bunk. Brad Caleb Kane is also going to be the showrunner for the new It TV show, Welcome to Derry. Yep. I think season 1 of Crystal Lake will be a character study like Pearl. We'll probably see Pamela's descent into madness. Yeah, see, I think that's I think that's pretty much what it's going to be. It's going to be, it's going to be all about Pamela. We'll have a little bit of, well, I think there like some plot. There was like maybe some plot got leaked that Mrs. Voorhees is either what was she like? She was an artist or like a singer or something, and she was just working at the camp to kind of make ends meet while she was trying to get her music career or her art off the ground. I don't remember. Like that's maybe the plot. I don't know. I read that or heard that somewhere, that there was some sort of plot leak, and that's, we meet Mrs. Voorhees and she's, she has all these aspirations to either be, I think it's a singer maybe. And it's not quite working out. She's got this little kid she's trying to provide for. She gets a job at the camp to make ends meet. And we know what happens from there. So. We could just let it rest and enjoy the good ones we have. I mean, that may not be the worst outcome, honestly. I mean, the next Friday the 13th is going to be the 13th one, for God's sake. So it's like you can't give us a week Friday the 13th for the 13th one. You can't give us some kind of crap. You got to give us a banger. You know what I mean? So maybe if they are taking their time with it and they're trying to develop the best story for it, cool. Take your time. But so far, the Jason universe has been pretty lame. Well, I mean who was the original showrunner that left or got fired or whatever? I've talked about this before. His plan was that every season would be like a different sequel. So season 1 is part 1, season 2 is part 2, season 3 is 3, so on and so forth. So if things are still kind of, going to be kind of laid out like that, I mean, you're not going to see Jason until season 2 at least. And even then, I mean, it's going to be Tater Sack Jason. Can we wait 3 seasons before we see Jason with the hockey mask? Will the show survive until, we get to that point? I don't know. It's just, there's just a lot of, so much is just up in the air with this series, I think. Well, allegedly they're working on a Halloween TV series too. Like that was the last thing I heard about anything Halloween related, is that they're working on a Halloween TV series too. But that was a long time ago. I've not heard anything since. Zero interest in the TV series. Jason Universe is a complete joke. No, I've not visited the Amityville locations, no. I can't wait for the Crystal Lake series. I've wanted a prequel my whole life. There's a story there. It just needs to be told right. Yeah, I mean, if it's told right, you're playing a modded version of the Friday the 13th game. I heard there were actually still, well, I saw that there was at least one server that was still active that you could play on, but you needed to know somebody who knew somebody who would invite you to that server. So I don't know if that's been patched or not, but good question. What is Jeremy's favorite Friday? I think he'd probably say Jason Takes Manhattan. Nope, still not watched Pearl yet. I saw it yesterday. I'd taken it off the shelf and I'd put it on my table, and it's still sitting there. So, but not watched it yet. You just want to see a young Crazy Ralph. You want to see Crazy Ralph pre-crazy, right? What's up, Mozart's Ghost? Hey, Rick, how are you? Yeah, she was going to have a singing career. That's what I heard. I don't know. Timothy Chalamet plays young Jason. Jeez Louise. Hey, Brad. It was great seeing you guys yesterday, man. Meeting Jeremy was the highlight of the day for me. Oh, that's cool. Well, it's good seeing you. Good seeing you again. Good seeing India again at this year's show. Hope you guys had a good time. I know Jeremy liked meeting you guys too. The Jason universe is starting off like the Universal Monsters Dark Universe. Oof. Well, at least they got one movie out. Well, no, I think didn't they get two movies out? Because wasn't Dracula Untold supposed to be part of that too? So at least they got two movies out before the whole thing collapsed. What's up, DJ Dale? The video game was cool. I mean, I've said this before, but the video game was so... The video game introduced the movies to a whole new generation of people.
You see, Jason was my son, and today is his birthday. My only child. Jason.
The Shining also turns 45 on May 23rd.
That's right, The Shining, yep. The Shining came out the same year, and Friday the 13th destroyed it at the box office. Yes. But the video game was so instrumental to keeping Jason alive because it introduced a whole new generation to those characters. And not just Jason, but, Tommy Jarvis and the locations and, yeah. It was a great game. It was a great game that could be incredibly frustrating at times. But when it was fun, it was super fun. Get at me around season 6 or 7. Oh, that's some wishful thinking, man. That's some wishful thinking. Goodness gracious. I've said that too, Joe. I've said that too. I think, Bloom gets stuff done, So, I mean, if anybody's going to go in there and, which I don't know. There's something going on there with a movie and Sean Cunningham. It's all very hush hush. I don't know. We're going to, whenever that news breaks, I think it's going to be pretty big. You play Friday the 13th on PS4 using the DNS. Okay. I want to see what made Crazy Ralph what made Crazy Ralph crazy? I heard rumors that they're redoing the first 5 Nightmare on Elm Street movies as animated horror movies. Oh, man, I hope not. What does Crazy Ralph do before becoming a prophet of doom? Good question. What was Crazy Ralph? Or who was Crazy Ralph before he went crazy? I bet he was a pillar of the community. And then I bet he had a dream. I bet he was the pastor of the church. And God sent him a vision of Jason so that he could end it before it started. But it was so traumatic that he just went crazy. And the only way he could quell those visions was to drink. That's it. That's why he was at the camp. That's why he was telling people, "You're all doomed. You're all doomed. You're all doomed." He knew what was coming. He was trying. But, he tried. Now that would be a cool story. That's what they need to do with Crazy Ralph. He had a vision from God, and it just broke him. Bronson, thank you for the $2. Yes, The Shining turns 45 on May 23rd. That's right. Yep. And like I said, Friday the 13th destroyed it at the box office.
Jason was my son, and today is his birthday. My only child. Jason.
I agree with Brad. We hope to see you at Scarefest.
Thank you, Inja Binja. Thank you. Yeah, that whole Dark Universe. They had all the roles cast. They did that group photo, and then it all just went away. Hey, Kevin, how you doing, man? I recall reading last year that the international rights are a bit of a mess, and it's going to take a few more years to untangle them. Supposedly, that's the big movie hang-up right now. Yeah. I forget all the details, but I think like Sean could make a Friday the 13th, but it couldn't be. He could only make it. It couldn't be released in the U.S. I thought all that was over and done, but there's still, like you said, it's a mess. So he's broken from his failed affair with Pamela. I mean, she's not a bad looking lady. So I mean, if I could see that. I could see him turn into the bottle after that fell apart. That's right. He did say God sent him. That's right. He did say God sent him. That's right. God sent me. You're all doomed. Doomed. I am a messenger of God. Inja Binja, I agree with Brad. We hope to see you at Scarefest. Yeah. Jeremy and I are planning on going to Scarefest. The Scarefest, some of the Scarefest crew were at they were at FrankenCon. They're really good people, and they got a big lineup, and I know they're going to be adding a lot more to it. And yeah, I've not even told Jeremy everybody who's there, because I know he's just going to get more and more excited. But he wants to meet Doug Bradley. He wants to meet Ken Sagos. He wants to meet Heather Langenkamp. I think those are the only ones I've told him who are going to be there. But let me see. Let's take just a quick look at their lineup here, because I know they've got a big one. He'll probably want to meet Amanda Weiss. Let's see. Oh, Billy Worth is going to be there. I got to get him to sign my Lost Boys poster. He might want to meet Bill Moseley too. I don't know. A lot of people from A Nightmare on Elm Street's going to be there. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to start saving up now. Doug Bradley. Heather Langenkamp for sure. He'll probably want to meet Jennifer Rubin. Ken Sagos is definitely, he wants to meet him. They got some people from Friday the 13th Part 8 that I think is cool. I'd like to meet them. Let's see. Oh, Kim Myers from Nightmare 2 and Hellraiser Bloodline. I want to meet her. Mark Patton. I've never met him. I'd like to meet him. So yeah, gosh, this list is just going and going and going. So yeah, there's my goodness, I'm gonna have to start saving up. A lot of people on that list Jeremy's gonna want to meet. My goodness. But thank you for that $1.99. Yeah, I hope to see you at Scarefest too. He was the preacher from Halloween 4. The preacher from Halloween 4 and Crazy Ralph. That's the team up that we need. Those two driving around in that old beat up truck, sipping hooch and, quoting the Bible and tracking down. They're hunting it. They're hunting it. Oh, speaking of Scream, the rumor is that there will be they're already planning a Scream 8, and it will be another Sydney story. So Sydney, I swear to God, like what if I like Neve Campbell, I like that character, but really, like, who would want to be anywhere near that woman? She attracts psychos like, flies to poop. Who would want to be anywhere near her? And why would she put herself in proximity to anyone? So, good Lord. I don't know. I don't know. The Scream series is getting wild. It's getting wild. Scarefest is the one you want to go to, Tony. It's a big one. It's definitely the biggest one in Kentucky nowadays. The biggest horror convention in Kentucky for sure. So, you're glad the Dark Universe failed. It's nice not having Johnny Depp in the limelight. Not a Johnny Depp fan. Okay. Are we going to see Elias Voorhees? That's a very good question. Probably. I mean, you're talking about a series that's going to be multiple episodes. They're going to have to stretch it out, add some filler, go places. I'm sure. Elias will be the deadbeat dad who she's trying to like track down for, child support, and I don't know. Or Elias is like Elias is the club owner where Pamela sings, and he's like, get out of here. You can't sing here anymore. The kid's not mine. So, and that's where then she ends up at the camp, And he's her first victim. After Jason dies and she snaps, she goes after him. She's his first kill. I love how Jeremy is stoked for Halloween already. I mean, he loves Halloween. He loves Halloween. Oh, by the way, y'all mark your calendars for, let's see. Jeremy's birthday is on the 4th. That's a Wednesday. That's probably when we'll do his birthday stream. June 4th, Wednesday, June 4th, probably around 1 p.m. The Jeremy birthday stream. Oh, you got your ticket for Scarefest today? You want to see Mark Patton? Very cool. Monster B, thank you for the $1.99. Appreciate that. Hello, William Chastain. How are you? Yes, conventions are so much fun, but they can get expensive fast. I know. You want to meet Danielle Harris? I met her many years ago. I met at my very first convention. I met her at my very first convention. Back in, gosh, what was it? 2009, 2010? Somewhere in that neighborhood. Long time ago. What's up the asylum beyond the dead? Sid X in space. That's where it's going to go. That's where it's going to go. It's the only place she thought she could go where a maniac in a ghost face mask couldn't find her. And then a maniac in a ghost face mask found her.
Slasher home video says, it's got a death curse.
I wish I could program this text-to-speech to sound like Crazy Ralph. It's got a death curse. If only. If only. It's going good, the asylum. How are you? I would assume that NECA will do the rest of the Jason figures eventually. I mean, what are we up to now? I mean, we got Pamela. Well, I would imagine we might get like a young Jason figure. That might actually be the next one. And then, we get our Part 8 Jason and so on. Blairstown, New Jersey is the Friday the 13th. That's where they filmed it. And the camp is called Camp Nobi Bosco or Bosco. Brad stoked for Halloween too. I mean, we're already past the halfway point. So, I mean, this year's flown by. Like Jeremy's birthday totally crept up on me. It was like the 4th of this month, and I went, holy crap, that's Jeremy's birthday's a month away. So, this whole year's just already flown by. And it's May 11th now. My God. So, we've breached the halfway point. It will be Halloween again before y'all know it. And Jeremy already knows what he wants to be for Halloween. He's already got that planned out. So, you caught yourself staring at a pic of 80s pumpkin-shaped bubble gum yesterday. Does anybody remember the bubble gum that used to come in like the little milk crates? It was like there was an orange flavored gum. They were like little pieces, kind of like Nerds, but they were gum in little milk cartons. And you had like the orange flavor. There was a grape flavor, maybe a cherry flavor. I don't remember. But my memory of those gums, like they tasted so good. And like occasionally I'll see those in like an old 80s movie like Teen Wolf. When he's in his dad's shop, there's like a big display of those. And every time I see those, I'm just like, oh God, I want those, In my memory, that was like the best tasting chewing gum or bubble gum ever. A pre-Uber Jason figure. When they get around to Jason X, they need to just do like what they did with the Halloween 2 figures with Michael and Loomis and
Jason
Lori.
was my son, and today is his birthday. My only child. Jason.
Dude, hope you and Bubba are doing well. Slightly smiling face. On June 1st I will be attending Niagara Falls Comic Con with my daughter and grandson. Anyone here going?
At Kayla Cosplays. Thank you. I'll get to that here momentarily. But I think it would be cool if they did like a 2-pack like that with regular Jason X and then the Uber Jason together. I think that would be cool. Respect to the Podfather. Hello, Jonathan. How are you doing tonight? Thanks for hanging out. And thank you all for 73 likes on the stream. If you've not dropped a like, please do so. Joe Bob was so popular at the very first FrankenCon. They had a Nightmare on Elm Street 2 reunion also with Mark Patton, Kim Myers, and Jack Shoulder. Really? Wow, that's cool. Grape. The grape was good. I remember the grape was the best, as I recall. I remember the orange in my memory tasted really good. And there was a third one. I can't think of what the third flavor was. Let me look those up. 80s bubble gum in milk carton. All right. Here we go. It was Tops. No wonder it was so good. It was Tops. Apple juice. And there was a pink lemonade one too. Oh God, we got to look at these, y'all. Oh man. Courtesy of my buddy Matt. Dinosaur Dracula. There they are. Oh my God. Tops juice gum. Look at those. Oh man. Whew. Those were good. I don't remember the apple juice. I'm not a fan of apple juice, so I probably never even tried the apple juice flavor. That's why I couldn't remember what it was. Because apple juice bubblegum? No. Grape, orange. Yeah. That's my jam. And Tops put them out. Yeah, there they are. Those little chunks. The gum was delicious, delivering sharp first chews. Sure, the flavor almost immediately dulled into nothingness But that was just an excuse to chew more, right? Yeah. And the pink lemonade. I remember the pink lemonade too. I remember the box. I don't remember really trying the pink lemonade. But I remember the box. When did they go out? Oh, wow. Look at the pink lemonade ones. Yellow and pink. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see. When did they go out? Does he have that information here? I don't think so. But man, those were so good. Damn. And like, what's Topps doing these days other than, I mean, do kids even collect baseball cards anymore? This is what Topps should be doing. Bring this stuff back. Forget about cards. Nobody's collecting cards anymore. Come on. Give us the good stuff. Bubblegum CDs and pagers. I have a memory of maybe like a CD, but not a pager. There were like, oh wait, did like the gum came inside a pager? Or was it shaped like a pager? I kind of remember gum shaped like a disc. I don't remember a pager of any
You see,
kind.
Jason was my son, and today is his birthday. My only child. Jason.
AKA to RO Ento for Ready rebrand is at Kella_cosplays.
Okay. The Nightmare 2 line was empty. Wow. How could a Nightmare 2 line be empty? Damn. There were more people I wanted to meet at FrankenCon. The one dude, oh man, Brian Bremer from Pumpkinhead and Silent Night, Deadly Night 5. Like every time we would pass by his table, he'd be so nice. Like, hey, how are you guys doing? Hi. And I was like, I'm gonna go back and I think I might go back and get him. And then it's like, I'm broke. Like literally, I'm done. And one of my convention rules is only bring the amount of money that you're comfortable with spending, and don't go to the ATM. I thought about it. I even asked one of the organizers, like, where's the ATM around here? But then I was like, no, I got to abide by my own rules. So, but he's going to be at Scarefest, so I might see him at Scarefest. Keela Cosplays, dude, I hope you and Bubba are doing well on June 1st. I'll be attending Niagara Falls Comic-Con with my daughter and grandson. Wow, very cool. And now, is this Toronto Freddy? Is this the rebranded Toronto Freddy here? I think it might be. But thank you for the $5 Canadian, and I hope you enjoy Niagara Falls Comic-Con with your daughter and grandson. Very cool. Entertainment Wizard's going to be there. Hemingway's doing good. Hemingway's always doing good. Something funny. I think everybody Jeremy met at FrankenCon. He told them he was a cat dad. That was the first thing he would mention to people. He'd be like, "Hi, I'm a cat dad." So he wanted people to know that he is a responsible cat dad, regardless of who you are. You knew he was a cat dad. So Ben liked the pink lemonade. Yeah, man. I don't remember that one. I wish they'd bring those back. If they'd bring those back, I'd even take the apple juice. I mean, how bad could it taste, really? In chewing gum form. Hi, Lenny. How are you? You stuck with the grape and orange too? Yeah. I mean, those were the best. So Ben Graham with with the Jeremy emoji. You voted Jeremy as taco ambassador. He'd be a good one. He'd be a good one. Thank you for the additional $3 Canadian, Aquila. So I think this is Toronto Freddy. The new Toronto Freddy is Aquila cosplays. Aquila? Am I saying that correctly? Aquila? Pokemon cards are the craze. Okay, I'm way out of my depth there. Probably like Magic cards or something. That's got a pretty big market. Yeah. I collected baseball and football and basketball cards growing up for a while. But and I loved the those like fiberglass pieces of gum you'd get inside there that were just jagged, like they were like razors, you know what I mean? You could just take a big bite out of one of those and like it just, a big shard of gum jams into your jaw. That was good gum. Favorite Friday the 13th soundtrack? Oh, that's a good question. I've listened to most of the Friday the 13th soundtracks just on their own, and I think there's a lot more going on in a lot of that music than you probably realize when you're listening to it in the movie. So I would recommend, listen to just the music by itself. You might have a better appreciation of Harry Manfredini because there's a lot more going on. It's good. I like it. I like all the music, really. The disco from part 3, that tune is clearly the best. But I've got them all. So, and give them a listen. Just and isolate the scores. I think you'll be, if you haven't before, I think you'll be surprised. I loved Bubble Tape. The best, I loved Big League Chew. Like, Big League Chew was some awesome bubblegum. Like, it lost its flavor in seconds. But those few seconds where it was really, that was some good chewing gum. Oh, yeah. And Bubble Tape is the same. Like, just put the whole thing. You know what I mean? Put the whole roll in there. You know what I mean? You're in bliss for at least like a minute, and then it's just gone. But it's a blissful minute of chewing. Brian Brimmer's there every year. Was he there last year? I don't remember seeing him there last year. But he was super nice. Yeah, I kind of felt like there was one instance where we were standing at Michael Berryman's table, and I just kind of glanced over at him, and he was like, I just kind of quickly looked away, like, because I was already thinking, like, man, I'm broke, I'm not going to be able to go see him. But he was like just so happy and just so nice, and like, and I love Silent Night, Deadly Night 5. So those $500 ATM runs at 2 a.m. are always trouble. I've never been there. Mozart's Ghost. Never been there. Yeah, Jeremy and I are going to go watch Final Destination Bloodline. Yes, we are. And I'm hoping that we're going to be able to get out on Tuesday and go watch Clown in a Cornfield. Brian's one of the nicest guests I've ever met. Yeah. Oh, hey, I met you at FrankenCon of Las de l'Amour. Yes, and your Grinch costume was really cool. Nice meeting you, man. So if not at Scarefest, maybe next year at FrankenCon. He's definitely a friend of FrankenCon. He's great. Yeah. Yeah. You collect tacos for the Taco Man. Well, I mean, it's wise. He loves his tacos. Yeah, Big League Chew was good. Well, I think it's still good. I've not had it in a long time, but it's still out there. You had the classic bubblegum flavor and like the grape flavor. The grape was really good too. Grape Little League Pitch gum. No, I've never heard of that. Little League Pitch. Little League Pitch gum. I've never even heard of that. I don't see anything. I don't see anything about Little League Pitch gum. Let me catch up with the chat here. Yeah, fruit stripe gum was literally, you got 2 seconds of flavor out of that stuff, and it was done. That was the worst. That was the worst. No staying power. I gave up on fruit stripe gum. No staying power at all with that one. Yeah, Five Below's got everything, and I have to. When we go to Five Below, Jeremy goes wild because they've just got so much cool stuff in there, candy and treats and snacks, and they've even got shirts and like little squeezy squishy things. I mean, he's all over that place. Scott Steiner will be attending Niagara Falls Con. Wow. I wish he would come down. I wish he would do something here. I would love to meet Scott Steiner. Would love to meet him. I remember the Garbage Pail Kids. I remember those cards. Oh, yeah. I remember. Brain Mutant, first timer just dropped in. Appreciate the Corey Cunningham representation. Well, thank you, Brain Mutant. Thank you. Always, we're just big Team Corey members here. Indy and I have been 3 out of the 4 years that they have had FrankenCon. It is a great little con. It is very intimate, and everyone is so nice. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It's definitely got that very laid-back, old-school convention vibe. And I like that about it. Very laid-back, very relaxed and chill, and everybody's cool, and, there's not music blasting at 300 decibels everywhere, and you can actually have a conversation with somebody, and it's a good time. Fangoria cards. I don't know if I had any Fangoria cards. I don't remember those. And the Friday the 13th Part 7 and 8 scores, although those Part 8 was not Manfredini at all, and I think maybe a little bit of the 7 was Manfredini, but it was mostly, I forget the other guy's name. But those are really good ones too. Jason Goes to Hell is your least favorite score? I think I like that one. I like that one too. Don't have a Laserdisc player. I've got some Laserdiscs. I've got Friday the 13th Part 5 on laser. I think actually that might be it. I think that's the only Laserdisc I've got. Real question. Did you chew the wax after drinking the candy? God, no. I mean, I'm sure I probably did but no. I didn't really like those anyway. I really didn't like those. I mean, there's a tiny little bit of, yeah. And then like you've got this hunk of wax. Like, what are you going to do with it? I mean, I guess you chew it, but I mean, you're just chewing wax. I'm not a big fan of those. We need to text to speech this one.
Mozart and hashtag 039. Escos says. Let me get a stick of free dent out of grandma's purse though.
Get that free dent, yeah. Gotta go with that free dent. Do you have a least favorite Friday the 13th character like Tina from Halloween 5 for most slasher fans? Uncle Charles from Jason Takes Manhattan gets my vote. LOL. Least favorite Friday the 13th character. Wow. I don't think I have one. I think I like them all, except that one guy who shows up at Ethel's place because he wants to get fed. What a jerk! What an a-hole! Don't just show up on somebody's property and be like, "I'm hungry. I want food." He deserved to die. He deserved to die. Just show up on somebody's property and expect him to feed you. I mean, Ethel was very kind to offer him food after he cleaned out the chicken coops. But entitled, just come on. Don't like him. No plans to go to Whorehound this year. No plans for Whorehound. Remember those lollipops that would make your tongue bleed? I remember, a lot of lollipops. If you got them to the point where they were jagged, they could cut you up. Like the blow pops. If you had those, oh yeah, those could cut you up. Is Scarefest in one large room, Piz? Or are they separate rooms for autographed vendors? No, it's all pretty much in one big space. The venue is huge, and it's pretty much all just in one big open space. But the way that they do it, it's very well spaced out. So even though the crowds are huge, even though there's tons of people there's tons of vendors and celebs and just people, like, there's plenty of room. So yeah, Fruit Stripe Grum was a scam. Total scam. Have you ever seen the movie Mum and Dad? I don't think so. I saw that picture. I got to pose with that head at with Adrian King at the Friday the 3rd. Let's watch some of that footage from the mega tour that I went on of all the locations and what have you. But yeah, I got to pose for a picture with Adrian King and the head in like a bucket. And it was still, I don't think Savini, I don't know if he owned it at that point. I don't remember. But that photo that Christian posted, that is the head. That's the head. That is definitely the head. Gone and sail away, tiny sparrow. All right, so let me cue it up here. This was 5 years ago. Wow. 5 years ago. Doesn't seem like that long. All right, so let me put my earbuds in so there's no echo. But this was the mega tour. This was we were all over that freaking camp, man. It was awesome. It was awesome. Let me catch up with the chat here real quick. What's up, Orc? How you doing, man? Happy Mother's Day to everyone's mom. Exactly. Yeah. Verisimilitude, are you joking? Because that kind of we don't take kindly to those jokes here. Okay. So as a matter of fact, if I have any mods, go ahead and give him a timeout. Go ahead and time him out for a little while. You need to go sit in the corner and think about that statement. Go ahead and time him out, mods. Give him a 15-minute. We don't take kindly to that kind of talk here. Alrighty, here we go. The camp, the infamous camp.
I had on the list, so just amazing. You guys have come from long and far, and we're so happy to have you here. So, how many of you drove less than 30 minutes? There's somebody here from Belvedere, right?
I'm just joking, by the way. Don't time him out. Don't time him out. But so at the beginning of the tour, you gather here in like the mess hall, and this is where they filmed the opening of the original Friday the 13th, where they're sitting around playing guitar, and she's making eyes at the guy, and they decide to sneak away. So, but this is where it all starts, and I think they're going to bring out all the guests here momentarily too, because there was a lot of people.
And then how about less than 2 hours of driving? How about more than 2 hours of driving? How about how many of you flown here? So we've got people from all over the world. You're going to make lots of new friends.
See what we have back here. Oh! Officer Dorf, Ron Bogey!
Okay, who are you people? You people keep your noses clean, you hear? You'll be hearing from me if you don't. You can stand for the witness right here.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, legendary composer Harry Manfredini! That was you, I think.
That's you. Hi. I never said anything in the movies or I played stuff. The only thing I said was,
Harry Manfredini! All right, this next guy guest is somebody that never actually made it to camp. But she made it to camp today! Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Robbie Morgan!
Well, I made it! You know, they told me I was supposed to be cooking for 50 kids and 10 staff. But they didn't tell me there'd be 400 of you. Well, we'll be cooking up. There'll be plenty for everybody. Good to see you. Good to see you, everybody.
All right, this next special guest is everybody's favorite shower buddy. Make sure you don't ask her a question. Ladies and gentlemen, Janine Taylor, Marseille!
My imagination. There's over 200 people here, and you can ask me anything you want, by the way. Okay? Great to see you all.
Janine Taylor! All right, is there any special effects fans in the house here? You know, that movie was pretty darn cool for 40 years ago, all the practical awesome effects. So we have 3 effects things for you right now. We have Tom Savini. We have Tasso. Tasso is in the building. And we have the original Mrs. Voorhees head from the original movie, which is super rare. So with that, this is officially the biggest Friday the 13th Part 1 reunion ever. So you guys are part of it. Everybody here is part of the biggest reunion. Give it up for Tom and Tasso and Mrs. V's head. All right, look at that. Piece of film history right here.
Oh, thank you.
No, you take it.
I got it.
Any questions? You know these special effect guys don't talk much. They just do hard work. All right, give it up for Tasso and Tom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next special guest. You know him from Friday the 13th Part 6. Director Tommy McLaughlin. Tommy was on the way to camp and he just thought, hey, we'll stop by the original Camp Crystal Lake and check this out.
Yes, I am so thrilled to be here with the original guys. Unbelievable thrill. And I promise you the redemption, Jason never dies. Coming back. Coming back with another one. Hopefully shoot it here.
All right, welcome Tommy. Big round of applause for Tommy.
I didn't get to meet Tom McLaughlin. He was only there for half the day. So while I was out doing the tour, he was doing his signings and stuff, and then he left at midday. So I didn't get to meet him.
I think we may be missing someone else. Who? Adrian!
Hello and happy Friday the 13th. You are part of this historic Friday the 13th. You are with the biggest reunion we've ever had in 40 years. Monumental, and there's so many cool things that they have in store for you and for me. I had no clue, but every time it's something fabulous, so I know you won't. No one's going to leave here without being incredibly happy and go home with those memories, like when you first saw the movie at 10 years old. Do you feel that already? The smell, everything's bringing you back to the first time you saw the movie. Well, you ain't seen nothing yet. So just watch out for the snakes and the bears and stay away from the lake. I'll see you guys later.
Give it up for Adrian King, the Soul Survivor!
I'm muted, sorry. Has anybody met any of those people at conventions? Adrian King is so nice. If you've never met her, she is just so nice. Has anybody ever met any of those folks? Did I get to meet and talk to Tom? I didn't meet him. Well, I'd met Tom Savini a couple times before and had him sign a couple of things for me, so I didn't really meet him or talk to him here. So I think we're going to get on with the tour here momentarily.
All right, so that is our special guest for today. I just want to make you guys aware of all the cool happenings we're doing. We have a photo op booth down there. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, we're stepping up the game once again with all the crazy original photo ops. You can get into the canoe with Adrian down on the beach. You can come back, get your picture with the Crystal Lake sign with the cast. You can get a picture of Robbie getting her throat cut. You can get a picture of Officer Dorff on the motorcycle. So if you guys haven't checked out the photo ops yet, make sure you stop by the booth right here in the
I didn't realize I was muted. But this is where Claudette and Barry meet their demise at the beginning of the movie. And this part was off limits when I was there for the first tour. So this was the first time this area was open. But there's where Barry and Claudette were making out. And then Mrs. Voorhees came in and messed everything up for him. Yeah, this is that part was off limits. That's where Alice and Mrs. Voorhees have their tussle. And they've recently opened up the generator shed. Like, this part was closed off. We couldn't go inside, but they've recently or since then they have opened this part up so you can go inside. But that's where Bill was strung up on the door after Mrs. Voorhees did a real number on him. See, there he is. Just if you've there's an arrow right in his groin too. So I don't know if I ever noticed that until the movie came in HD, because Mrs. Voorhees did a real number on that poor dude. Maybe I should move myself up here. Let's move myself up here so that you can see the little captions that I added to the video. Here's a little sing-along. They even provided us a guitar for the photos. So if you wanted to take a picture there, holding a guitar, they even provide you a guitar. And those benches were probably there when they were making them. Those are probably the same benches they were sitting on. Look at those things. See, these are the Friday the 13th woods. These are the northeastern woods. You know what I mean? You can get those woods in Kentucky too, but you know, like in some of the sequels, you just know, like they're you know, they're in completely different parts of the country. But you never know. Jason, maybe, you know, Mrs. Voorhees, she's out there lurking in the woods, watching. They do several tours a year, John. And they did use a lot of this footage on the as an extra on the Scream Factory Friday the 13th box set. Oh yeah, they for many years they definitely downplayed that this is the camp where Friday the 13th was shot. When on the first tour I went on, they actually had like the camp director give us this big speech about how they have embraced it after many years of like they would tell the counselors like, hey, you know, don't tell the kids, don't tell anybody. You know, if they found out, it was like very hush hush, because you didn't want to scare the kids and you didn't want to scare parents away from sending the kids. So it was a secret. They tried to keep it a secret, I should say, for a long time, but now they've completely embraced it, which is awesome. And it is just a beautiful location, beautiful area. The whole town of Blairstown is really beautiful. You have the lake where Jason drowned as a boy. Ah, the shower house. And there's where poor Annie met her demise. And just like how they've done it here, it wasn't really a shower or bathroom area. It was just a cabin that I mention it there. And I didn't notice, but in one of these little makeshift stalls, somebody wrote the 40 paces to the outhouse or whatever that little rhyme is that she says. They wrote it on the wall. You can see it in passing, but I didn't notice it until I was editing the footage. Like there it is written on the wall. Poor Annie. I've been to the diner and the food and customer service is excellent. Yeah. Yeah, the food was very good. The customer service was really nice too. Yeah, I've been to the diner a couple times. Definitely worth visiting. And here is the main cabin. And what was weird about going in some of these cabins was how small they are. Because in the movie, they look much bigger. But like when you're inside them, you know, it's like, wow. There was a lot of people inside this little area to shoot this movie. Oh, yeah. A lot of people over the years camped there and sent their kids there and went to camp there and had no idea. This is where it all started. You saw the Monopoly board from where they were playing strip Monopoly, and there's the rope hanging down from when Alice was trying to secure the door from Mrs. Voorhees. Oh, I forgot to mention earlier, I went to, I've been to the Dawn of the Dead Mall too. That's another filming location I've been to. I forgot about that earlier. There's the kitchen. There's the window where the one lady was thrown through. Brenda. That's where Crazy Ralph came out of the pantry. I am a messenger of God. What's up, Charlie? How you doing? And here's where Kevin Bacon's character met his bitter end. Hey, what's up, Drum Smash? How you doing? And the only thing that's different about this cabin is in the movie there was that it had that kind of fenced in porch area on it. That's gone. But other than that, it's the same cabin. Doing good, doing good. Reliving my last visit to the to Camp Novi Bosco. Oh, and you guys can't see the pictures. I'm sorry. This is where they killed the poor snake. Where that poor snake was sacrificed to the movie gods for Friday the 13th. But that snake's sacrifice was not in vain. It was not in vain. The sun porch. There you go. There you go. Yes, John, but that snake did not die in vain. It did not die in vain. And the lake, like they've still got that, like the lookout there. It all looks, so much the same. Yeah, they put the picture books around to kind of let you know what was shot there and where it was shot and so on. Ooh, hold on. So here we are. We've gathered in front of the lake, and we're all just waiting for. We're waiting for it to get dark so we can watch the movie. And so, like Tom Savini and Harry Manfredini, and the guy who plays the cop, I forget his name, Braun, like they're basically just putting on like a stand-up comedy show for us while we wait for it to get dark.
Didn't it almost happen and it got canceled? But somebody today, that Tom McLaughlin was talking about something in that direction with him in charge. There's no way to know for sure, but I hope so, yeah.
I should be the killer.
I'll be her assistant.
Say killer, Bobby, killer. Okay, there you go.
Ron, is it true that when you came down in the bike, you never were on a motorcycle before?
Thank you for asking that question. That is not true. I can drive a motorcycle. I used to drive my brother's, but it was so bad. Sean and who was the assistant? He went on to direct big movies.
Steve Miner.
Steve Miner. Said, no, you're not getting on that motorcycle.
Yeah, what?
And the other thing is, the motorcycle did not fall on me. Somebody had a film clip. It started to fall. I jumped out of the way. I hauled ass to save ass. And the motorcycle fell. So, 2 myths you got cleared up there.
We have to put a photo up.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to do whatever you're supposed to do.
All right, give them a round of applause.
I'll give you the signal, but anytime during this whole thing, I'll just go. Hey, left side. Yeah, ready? That's okay, you're on that side, that's good. Okay, now we're gonna go faster, ready? Oh, the mamas are There's so much more of you. Come on, man. Ready? Okay, pretty cool.
All right, let me mute this. I don't want Harry Manfredini coming after me. Copyright stuff. But I mean, just imagine we're in front of the lake at night at the camp watching the freaking movie. Like, how insane is that? Oh, what an experience. My gosh. Yeah. My goodness. What a time that was. What a time. So if you ever do get the chance to go, I highly, highly recommend it. And Crystal Lake Tours, that is the name of, that's the website, and they have all the, here, I've got it pulled up here. Let's take a look at it. So there's the website, Crystal Lake Tours, if you're interested. Let's see, what have they got scheduled here? If they got anything scheduled so far. Tours and events. Upcoming tours and events. 2025 tours and events. They've got several going on in June, including, well, these are the Friday the 13th tour on Friday the 13th. All those are sold out. But Saturday the 14th, they've got tours. They got the VIP overnight experience, the extended tour, lakefront tour and movie screening. So I don't think they. I don't guess they're having like the guests back, which that was kind of cool. Let's read about the overnight experience. Your authentic camp experience will include overnight accommodations in a movie cabin together with a small group of fellow fans. Or your authentic camp experience will include overnight accommodations in a 2-person tent located in the heart of the filming set. We supply the tents and the same cots, mattresses as the cabin accommodations. Please note that all tents must be purchased in pairs. So there you go, your overnight tour. Let's see about the extended tour here. What does that include? Afternoon extended tour, evening lakefront tour, and movie screening. So there you go. And there's the prices, $159. I really don't think that's a bad price, honestly. For and there's a save 13 June for 13% off any remaining June tickets. So there you go. There you go. Well, they had the mega tour was what it was called when I went, but that included like that was an all day thing. That included there were guests there, the celebs and stuff. So it's changed a little bit. It's changed a little bit. My mom wanted me to message you today as a Mother's Day wish to say she loves watching you and Jeremy. She's a big fan. Well, child of the 80s, thank you. And a shout out to your mother. Thank you for watching, Jeremy, and I appreciate it. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, goodness. We've been going for 2.5 hours, folks. We've talked a lot of Friday the 13th stuff. We went on a tour of the filming locations. Thank you all for 94 likes on the stream. I appreciate it. So let's wrap some things up here. I think Mother's getting a little tired. She might be ready for bed. If there's any other questions or comments or anything, go ahead and throw those out there now. And we'll call it a night here shortly. That's right. June 13th is the that's the day in the movie. I think that's when I went last time. Was like a June 13th. I don't remember. This was like 5 years. It doesn't seem like it was 5 years ago, but it was 5 years ago. Wow. A lot's changed in the world since then. Thanks for streaming tonight. Well, thank you for being here and hanging out with us, Swaggy. Always a pleasure. Awesome stream. Thank you again, Piz, for sharing your footage. You're very, very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right, well, let me do some shout-outs here, and then we will call it a night. Let's see. Shout out to Eerie Spirit and Sunny Shram for tuning in over on Twitch. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me over there. Shout out to Ben Grimm for becoming a channel member. Shout out to Mike Williams for the $5 super chat. Shout out to Chris B for the $4.99 super chat. Shout out to Bronson Wright Wolf for the $2. Shout out to Inja Binja for the $1.99. Shout out to Monster B for the $1.99. Shout out to Aquila Cosplays, the artist formerly known as Toronto Freddy, for the $8 Canadian. And let's see who is still with me here on YouTube. We got Derek Jana here. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, sir. We got Drum Smash. We got John. There's Aquila there. My buddy Horror Orman was here. Horrid Films. Child of the 80s. Drum Smash. Rexian. Let's see who else was with us here tonight. We had Tony. Thank you for being here, Tony. We had Joe Reese. Thank you for being here, Joe. Charlie Varick. Lenny. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, Lenny. Usu was here. Steven was here. Entertainment Wizard was here. Mozart's Ghost. Granular Spirits. Thank you for being here tonight. The New Blood Dan. Thank you. Hillbilly Tech was here. Thank you, thank you. Nescafe was here. Thank you. All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate it. If you haven't dropped a like on the stream, please do so before you leave. But thank you for being here tonight. I dropped my 2025 Physical Media Wish List Part 2 video. If you missed that video, check it out. It's on the channel now. Jeremy and I are going to be doing our FrankenCon recap video with tons of photos and footage. That's going to be out here in a couple of days. I've got I Love Physical Media videos dropping. I've got mask unboxings dropping. All sorts of stuff. So keep your eyes peeled for all that goodness. But again, thank you all for being here and hanging out. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your Sunday night. Have a great rest of your Mother's Day. Again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And we'll see you again real soon. Take care.